Alright, we are back from the lunch break, much like a late worker trying to clock in at the very last second. We're back with Uruguay versus Belgium. My name is Dada. You've seen me in the stream before twice, but now I'm joined by a new co-host. This is Semi. Say hello to Semi.
Hi guys. Hello. What's up, man? How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Dada? I hope you're doing great.
I'm doing great. I totally didn't have 3 hours of sleep having Chocolate Disco play over and over in my head. But yeah, this is another contenders group match. This is Uruguay versus Belgium. Belgium, I believe, is already technically eliminated. Let me just make sure of that. Yes, they have an over 10-point differential gap to Argentina. I guess they very much not eliminated, but still, it's an extremely tough thing to actually have them qualify. They need a lot of results to go their way. And Uruguay is 0-1. Belgium is 0-2. Uruguay having lost versus Turkey, I believe. Just check. Yep, Uruguay having lost 5-1 versus Turkey, and Belgium having lost 5-2 versus Argentina and 5-1 versus Turkey also. So both of these teams playing Uruguay for their life in the tournament, Belgium to desperately claw back into the group. And we're getting ready to head into the lobby itself. We're getting the roles over and done with, and the ban order is being currently decided. Sammy, what do you think about this match?
Pretty interesting in my opinion. I'm always glad to see teams like Belgium, especially qualifying and making it to OWC finally after their last qualification in, what was it, 2018, I believe? 2019? Somewhere along those lines. It was definitely a 1 as the third digit. So you can already guess, it's been a very long time ago. And yeah, Uruguay, a team has been making a pretty consistent appearance recently. Actually also bringing back one of their OG players in Danit, which is kind of interesting. I haven't really kept up with what he's been doing, but it's cool to see that he's kind of just playing the game again. Damn, we got the bracket, the bracket stage, yeah. The ban phase all out of the way immediately. Hidden 2 ban from Uruguay and DT2 from Belgium. Absolutely logical in my opinion. Just taking the strengths of their team into consideration, and also just DT2 ban by Belgium, so it makes sense to pick the speed map here.
Yeah, this is the classic 1-2 punch. Someone bans DT2, no 1-2 is immediately first picked against them. Obviously, having this group stage only 1 ban kind of makes this a little bit of an easy pathway to open up the match, get some momentum going. So we've seen a lot of teams do that, and there's no exception. Uruguay has a very competent speed roster. They have Dan, as you said, they have Plox, they have honestly a couple of other players who are all pretty good at this kind of no aim, all stamina, or a lot of speed in the map, especially this sort of map.
Yeah,
Belgium has struggled a little bit in that speed department.
A little, yeah. I mean, you can see that they're having Honori Phil here, someone I personally know more as a name player. And yeah, Helvetia making an appearance here also makes a lot of sense. Their prior username was Kazuki K, which you might know them under as well. So, a speed player, gonna be for sure playing this. Belgium, however, actually do kind of stocked up on a little bit of overall skill, I want to say, with the addition of Hexy to the team. Or, well, not the addition, but more so his improvement, and Mornis in particular. Those two are the big names you want to look out for here in the Belgian roster. Honori, of course, an older face, someone you recognize from pretty much playing every single year, someone that has been in the tournament scene for a very, very long time. And yeah, rosters are finalized, everybody seems to be ready, and the Galacta funds are going out, so let's get started with this first pick here. Kyokugen Bon Odori for Uruguay. See how it's gonna turn out. I feel like this might be a level of tapping where Hanori isn't necessarily outscaled yet, especially considering it's 230 BPM. I feel like that is just very short of being above his like comfort range.
We'll see.
So
I think we've seen a lot of like these four-man lineups where the third and fourth man get this like lower accuracy, start missing a bit on like the early stage of the match, but they don't necessarily have like a horrible score. They just don't really have the potential to FC. Or if they do FC, they have FC with very low accuracy. But let's see if that's the case here or if everyone's going to be comfortable. Hopefully the latter, but only one way to find out. Danit and Hanori finding early breaks, Muramin as well. Not really the best of omens, as it is 2 breaks to Belgium for 1 to Uruguay. However, Plox will also find a break. A little bit of an uncommon break, probably the best player in Uruguay there, finding that early break on a little bit of, probably like a little bit of a nerve check. Muramin finding yet another break, not really being comfortable in the map, still below that 90%. Danit finding another miss. It's a little bit of a bar fight. Bar brawl, bar fight. Try to...
Bar brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tongue twisters, man. I mean, aside from that, though, the accuracies on Uruguay, aside from the combo, looking pretty solid here. And yeah, that's the last FC down with Melody breaking. And despite the 90% of Merriman, the combos on Mortis, Hexy, and Hanori actually making the lead go over to their side. So, you know, they gotta step up their game here, make sure to get less misses, and particularly, well, that's not how you do it exactly. Plox finding the miss, the massive combo gone, and the lead is just skyrocketing over this side of Belgium here. Hanori on that 95% FC, I mean, exactly what I was talking about. You see, he's kind of, you know, fighting a little bit, but it's still up his alley to a certain extent. Kind of just, you know, a little bit mashing, just getting the combo, maintaining the combo, which, I mean, it's the name of the game here. It is very detrimental to Belgium's success for this pick.
And let's just point out, both Mortis and Haxi have very... Never mind. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But
It's still doable.
Very good accuracy. Mortis is still very good accuracy, but did break. Sorry, any Belgian in chat. But Uruguay didn't hold the combo. That was the main problem.
Yeah, the lead also kind of not budging.
Mortis as well trading. Muramin, not really having the best of times, but still doing enough for Belgium to get that break point. As a very odd start to the match, Hanori finally finding a break there, but it is too little too late, as Belgium will confirm that break point. And very interesting start to the match, as Uruguay picking into that Belgium like ban logic, but they were correct in the sense that Belgium didn't really have a four-man lineup for this, but they were wrong in the sense that they could actually beat the 3 remaining players.
Very, very tragic here. You just see the accuracies on the side of Uruguay. 98s at least all across the board. In fact, almost 399s and a 98, but it was just not enough. Very unfortunate. And now it's the pick for Belgium. In my opinion, their pick strategy probably involves going for the free mods. I think that is definitely what they have the biggest edge on over Uruguay. These like kind of, I mean, in particular, I would probably say free mod 2 and 3. Just kind of those like consistency picks that aren't really too gimmicky or, you know, don't require too much technical skill. Instead, they're going to be opting for the hidden one.
Not a bad choice. I think Uruguay is a little bit of a more like hard rock / DT centric team this year, and opting for that hidden, Belgium overall has been this kind of hidden roster. They have Hanori, Hexy, 5 Joshi, I believe, will also step in here. And
for sure.
They have a solid hidden roster of their own, so maybe just picking into that comfort instead of any sort of potential like fault of Uruguay themselves. Something that I've noticed, I believe Belgium picked free mod 3. They were one of the few teams in the entire group stage so far that's picked free mod 3 in any match. They picked free mod 3 in the match versus Argentina. or at least they played it. I'm not sure if they actually picked it because MP didn't destroy that, but they had a pretty good time there. So we might see Prima 3 going again. They did lose that to Argentina, but their team score was pretty solid, and Hanori had enough seat there. So maybe Prima 2, Prima 3 expected towards the latter half of this match, but so far sticking with the tried and true like common picks in this group stage, hitting one Nomachu, all very common. So we shall see.
Yeah, very popular picks indeed. Belgium just kind of trying to play a little bit more safe here, opting for the same strat as Uruguay, except I believe this is, you know, a little bit of more of a nuanced skill set to pick into a team that has ban hidden 2 and that kind of, you know, struggles with the lineup. They do have Rebo, who is a very good hidden player, and potentially the difference maker here as well. So very interested in how this one is gonna go. Maybe trying to opt into the free mods later. And there we go. Roster's finalized. At least on paper, I believe this should favor Belgium.
Yeah, having both Rebo and El Milanga having their first map here in the match. Meanwhile, MRB being brought in for the side of Belgium, and 5 Joshi as well. So again, that solid hill lineup for Belgium, and a couple of the newcomers for Uruguay also slotting in. Just I think it's a little bit important for Belgium to try and get both, I believe, Helvetia and Phlox out of the lobby. They're both the standout performers for Uruguay. I believe in qualifiers they both had the top qualifier scores and performance scores in general for that team. So having one of them out of the map is generally indicator of good tidings. So far, a couple of early act drops for the intro, as per usual. We've seen that over and over again in all the group stage matches. Helvetia finding that first break for the side of Uruguay. Not really the first break, since a couple of people broke at the start, but the first real break for Uruguay. So the lead will go over to Belgium early on. Helvetia finding yet another break. Everybody on Belgium still holding strong. Act situation, besides MRB, everyone seems to be settling on that 97/98. Helvetia with a little bit more of a struggle on that 96 after a couple of misses. Hanori will find a break, however, so it is 3 FCs to 3 essentially.
Yeah, the splitting combo on the side of Uruguay a little bit better right now. The lower accuracy definitely not going to be significant, but oh my goodness gracious, we're seeing 2 breaks here in the slow section. El Malaga and 5 Yoshi going to be dropping. So it is again 2 FCs to 2. Playfield very even, lead on the side of Belgium right now, with the accuracy being the main deciding factor here. Definitely an interesting place to break. Not particularly happy about that one, I would assume. As we get into the next course, or well, drop, so to say. Helvetia are going to be finding another miss here. Rebel and Melody really trying their hardest to bring us back, but the lead is just going left and right, and sort of not budging aside from that. And there goes Hanori and Hexy. Gonna be 2 combos gone, 1 of the FCs gone, only MRB remaining, and Rebel trades it out immediately after, meaning that that one small glimmer of hope that Uruguay had, well, albeit not over, definitely still gonna be making things a little bit harder, especially Rebel being the star player for this kind of map, one of the main hidden carries. There goes Hexy, and the lead is actually gonna flip over to the right side of Uruguay here, so definitely gonna be needing. Oh my god, it's so close. Wait. It's 8k. Oh my god. It's 10k!
Uruguay with 10k, getting that breakpoint right back on the back of Melody with that great FC. MRB also with an FC, but the AC just making such a big difference, being that 100k difference between scores. So Belgium will actually give their point back over to Uruguay, as it's 1-1 in the weirdest way possible.
That is, I mean, they've each banned out the skill set that the opponent picked, and both of them drop breakpoints on it, which is just incredibly funny. Kind of makes me question how the rest of this match is gonna go. I'm not sure what Uruguay's gonna. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure what Uruguay's gonna opt into here. Actually, am I? I'm not sure. I mean, they lost the Nomad too, so it's gonna be. I think there might be a little bit of hesitation involved with picking the DT1 next.
Yeah, I mean, do you go something like Nomad 5, Hard Rock 2? That's been the traditional like follow-up. But I don't know, like I don't know what Uruguay will like head into besides that like mechanics slash speed roster. And as you said before, I think Premature is like a pretty contested pick. So I'm not sure if you want to go into that because that's like the next thing you usually go for after Momochu. Either DT1 or pretty much good, but I don't I don't know if this is necessarily a good idea.
I'm not sure either, honestly. I think when it comes to very polarizing skill sets like the ones that were picked and banned out, I think we don't really necessarily have many of them left. I don't think that there's gonna be either team going for that Nomad 3. So I'm not too sure about how this one's like gonna go for now, or how the pick strat is gonna be, developing throughout the course of the match. Uruguay gonna be opting into the Hard Rock 1 here, however. As you mentioned before, a mainly mechanics-focused team, so obviously this pick makes a lot of sense. 200 BPM inconsistency map. Melon Boy, you know this guy, you know how his maps look like.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more of an oddball in terms of Melon Boy maps, at least. Has a little bit of that like kick slider mechanics, like kind of like light tech element in a weird way, but it's generally normal with a couple of asterisks. So we'll see if it favors Uruguay. I think Belgium also have a solid hard rock roster, but obviously I think Uruguay's a little bit favored. Belgium would be mostly on the back of, I believe, Hexy, which is a quite solid hard rock player in his own right.
Don't sleep on Mornis. Do not sleep on Mornis. That guy is also incredibly good at hard rock.
Fair.
And then Hanori is also going to be an incredible support here for Belgium. I think this is, I don't know, I feel like at this point, or in general, AIM is just a very contested pick across both teams, with Uruguay just leaning more towards that speed side and Belgium leaning more towards that like control and gimmicky side, or vice versa, as we just found out. You did, however, mention this, is more of an oddball-ish kind of map, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna go for either team here, honestly.
I mean, if it goes anything like Namachu, I think Uruguay have a little bit worse of a chance than I think we might think, because of just the general like misses that they had were a little bit less like on top spots and more all over the place, which for a map that's very consistent like this is not a good indicator. But it's a very different kind of map. It's more aim, it's less of that like tapping strain, less of that like left hand strain. So maybe in this scenario their aim, their misses will be like less all over the place, which will end up favoring them, but we'll see. Obviously, it's their pick. They know their team scores their information more than we do, so.
For sure.
Clocks finding the early break will not indicate that, however, but Mornes will find a trade. Early lead over to Uruguay because of Mornes' accuracy. That's the only real like difference there. Rebel finding a break for the side of Uruguay will punt the lead over right to Belgium, however, and well, it's still very early on. We're still not even a quarter of the way into the map. However, the break from Hanori will and break from Hexy as well. So double break from Belgium, punting the lead over right back to Uruguay. And so far, only 5 Joshi is holding the combo for Belgium. In Uruguay's side, there's Melody and Helvetia both holding. Rebel will find another break, but it's not really as consequential as any of the other ones because his combo was already pretty low. Steve wasn't at over 500k, oh, 50k, sorry. Oops.
It's certainly an odd situation seeing 5 Yoshi, who's actually a hidden preference player, being the sole Hard Rock 1 FC left on the side of Belgium, trying to fight off against Melody and Helvetia here. Support, however, on the side of Uruguay just looking way more solid right now with Honori dropping another miss. And Rebo also just on that recovery combo here. Going to be establishing a very, very solid lead for Uruguay. A solid groundwork in order to maintain this lead as well. 5 Yoshi going to be dropping his FC as well. And now the lead is absolutely going to skyrocket towards the side of Uruguay.
Blox finding a break, however, we'll trade that. 5 Yoshi finding another break, however, is still 2 FCs to 2 solid combos on the side of Belgium. But if you're Belgian right now, you need Melody or Helvetia to miss. And that just isn't happening, especially with this slow section. Nobody really getting in any danger of anything. But now we come back to a pretty animated section, and Helvetia will find a very early break, and so does Rebo, so the lead will start shrinking and going over to the side of Belgium. They need Melody to miss, however. It's still... The lead is still like traveling very, very slowly. Nobody on Belgium has broken yet on this like solo section. Not even the second chorus section, but Mornis, the highest number in Belgium, will find a break, and that will likely seal the deal and will confirm the pick for Uruguay, unless Melody breaks.
I think it's past that time already. I think that would have. Oh my god! Wait. Okay.
Okay.
I'm holding on to my feet. There's no way that has actually just happened. Okay. Hexy and Honori try to. Come on, hold the combo here.
Well,
wait, it's actually.
There's no more combos. There's no more combos for Uruguay. It's just going over. Honori will find a break, but Hexy is still holding that very high combo, and we'll break at the very last slider. But
oh my god!
Another breakpoint just taken at the very end by the side of Belgium, and once again, people don't know what they want to pick. Like all the picks so far have been breakpoints, and some very oddball misses coming out from both sides will ensure that maximum chaos consistently happens in this match, as it is Belgium's pick, and they have the lead.
Oh my goodness gracious, what a roller coaster of emotions right there. I was just about to call that it's too late, and then there's the drop from Melody, and I cannot believe that Belgium just managed to pull that back. We get another breakpoint, third breakpoint on the board here. Both teams just kind of, I don't know, embracing this toss-up mentality right now. Let's see how it's going to go from here on out. Is Belgium going to be able to capitalize off of that, or are they going to drop another breakpoint as well? Certainly would be interesting to see.
Well, if you're Belgium, you're happy with that, but now you realize that this match has stuff in store that maybe neither team really wants to find out, like, exactly what it is. So I don't know what you pick if you're Belgium. Maybe Chocolate Disco. Maybe you go into that more reading heavy kind of pick that Uruguay banned out in Hidden Tree. You go into the second most reading heavy map in the pool, and that's where they go. So that's the logic there. I think Belgium has a solid chance on this. I believe they played this in both of their previous matches.
What were the scores, if I may ask? You're gonna have to educate me on any prior groups matches in particular.
Sure. Belgium had a win versus Argentina on this map. They had a MRB FC, and they had 2.18 billion points on that in that match. And then for their Turkey match, let me check. Their Turkey match, they lost this. They had a Honori B rank, and their team score was actually better.
Interesting. So technically, there is possibilities for both to for MRB to drop a worse score, but also for Honori to improve his score. Interesting. However, I'm not sure how Uruguay is gonna answer this one.
Uruguay have had a previous match, so let me check if they've played this in their previous match.
Let's see.
They did. So this is the first time Uruguay will be playing number 3 in this tournament, and maybe that's why Belgium chose to go this way.
Very likely. Oh wait, you know, there's always a little bit of how do you say? You know,
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Yeah, that comes with picking something that, you know, you have no idea what the enemy's scores are gonna be. However, we did discuss, you know, the nuanced skill sets, something as polarizing as like a low AR reading pick, though this one is less oriented on skill cap, you know, in contrast to the pool, and more so a consistency pick. So surely they've got some players that have practiced this, right?
Yeah, no. Obviously, if they left it open over Hidden Chu, I think they have at least like 3 players who practice this. So hopefully they don't prove us wrong. And
I hope so, certainly.
yeah, Belgium also, like, oddly, they had Honori top score with a B rank on one of their number 3 plays, and then they had MRB top score with an FC on the other one with Honori bottom score. So they don't seem to be too consistent on it either.
I mean, we did mention MRB's FC, so who knows? Maybe he was going to be pulling up with that one again this time around.
So far, so good for everybody. Not really much to trip on at the start of this map. Couple of act drops for the side of Belgium. MRB having the worst act in the lobby. Plox missing on thin air. I think there was not really an overlap to be missed there, so he just missed on aim or tapping.
Yeah, accuracy kind of being the only deciding factor here for now, and actually still keeping the lead on the side of Uruguay simply because of that 96% on MRB, whereas the entirety of Uruguay is holding a 99% right now. Apologize. Nori also on the 97%. Gonna be
Vinny will be with the first drop for Belgium. And as we head into the first quarters, Honori, MRB, and Melly all trading, so only 5 Joshi with a combo for Belgium.
Absolute meltdown from Belgium here, losing 3 of their FCs immediately. Only 1 trade by Melody here. I mean, I guess they have Plox on the recovery combo, however, the double FC here by Rebo and Helvetia is going to be, you know, more than enough to make sure that Uruguay can establish a very solid lead on this pick. And, you know, this is what I was talking about, you know, the uncertainty with picking something that you have no information about, especially, I mean, you can say that their weakness is reading, however, you know, the group stage pool isn't supposed to be very difficult. Helvetia is going to be finding a break here, so only FC remaining on Rebel. Rival by 5 Yoshi on the other side here. However, 200k lead has already been established, and we're going to have to see a few more misses in order for Belgium to have another chance to come back here.
No, we will find that miss again. However, Plox with a significant combo, having that break as well, will potentially make it close as Belgium is slowly regaining that lead, but it's very, very slow as much as it... Oh gosh, Rebo, please tell me that was Venture, Rebo! That was the slow section! That was the overlap! Ah! It was Venture! It was fucking Venture!
What the Benjo? Jesus Christ! Oh my god, my heart stopped for a second. I couldn't get a word up. No way! Is that real? Is that real? I don't trust anything I see anymore.
I think that was real.
I don't trust anything I see anymore.
But 5 Joshi will break also. So MRB and Vinny with pretty big combos might bring that lead over back towards Belgium. Melody and Helvetia will be the competing combos for the side of Uruguay. However, is there enough map? It's still 40k lead. MRB and Vinny both holding Plox. Finding a break will help that case for Belgium. However, 5 Joshi finding another break will not help Melody finding a break. And Belgium will overtake. Oh god, at the final bit of the map.
I cannot believe this had happened again. It happened again. I cannot believe this. Pulled it back the last second twice in a row. I'm actually at a loss for words. Ay, Dios mío. Oh my god. I cannot believe this, man.
Dude. Like, I thought Rebel broke on air, and then it was Bancho, so I was like, oh, come on. And then Rebel broke on air. I think every break on this map is on air, so maybe like, as soon as there's a break underwater, tell me.
Yeah,
Just a
Moses did that once.
Yeah, he broke his FC in half. Just a little update for the other match in the A stream. Kazakhstan is currently leading 4-0 as they're looking to confirm their seeding advantage over Ukraine, and Ukraine will likely drop to 0-2, which means Ukraine versus Peru, one of the final matches in this group stage, will be a very consequential match indeed. As Uruguay will head over and pick that DT1. Not much of a surprise, considering their general DT lineup is pretty good. And this is the closest in the pool to having like a speed map and a DT map itself, because DT3 is more of an alt pick on its own. So pretty sensible pick for Uruguay here. Meanwhile, Belgium will not necessarily have a bad lineup, but are likely to be on the back foot.
Man, I just have no words anymore for anything that's going on. I mean, I kind of expected Uruguay to go for this. However, I'm just incredibly unsure about literally anything that's going to happen right now. I feel like this one in particular also just kind of, you know, is less, how do I put it? It's less Belgium unfavored, if that makes any sense. Because the tapping is less of a required skill set, more so the aim, which is something that I believe they can really, you know, capitalize off of. But then again, I mean, just look at the previous 4 maps that you played. It has been an absolute roller coaster, and I genuinely just, at this point, just want to watch what's going on, not really make any more fancy predictions or anything, and just see how the players are going to play, how everything's going to turn out.
I mean, Uruguay's aim has not looked particularly good over the last couple of maps. They obviously didn't get the best map, best scores on No Machu. They didn't really get the best scores on Hidden One, but still won that map. They didn't really have the best scores on Hard Rock 1 as well, having a couple of bad breaks there. So maybe an aim DT pick would not be like 100% like safe, but I think if you're Uruguay, you're no longer like thinking about like that sort of thing. You're just thinking, what is the pick in this map that I can actually like get back in, that I can have a lineup that's consistent or at least like comfortable on the map. And I think this is a good pick to do so.
I agree. I mean, DT1 also just kind of, you know, is a map that generally gets a lot of scores in tournaments overall. You know, a very prevalent skill set is solo as well, so I kind of, you know, feel like, again, anything, just anything can happen.
So far, so good for everybody. Accuracies are all looking competent, as expected. Hexy actually finding the first break, but will be traded by Rebo. So lead will be pretty stable here. Belgium will have a little bit of a combo advantage just based on Hexy's slightly better combo. But Uruguay so far has the accuracy advantage with a couple of very impressive accuracies, to say the least. So as we head into the first KI here, so far so good for everybody. Still very, very close indeed.
Yeah,
Nobody
still
finding
3, man. Only
Well,
the
funny
supporting
enough.
combo advantage on Hexy here.
Oh, there goes Olvedia!
Ooh.
That is
Olve's
huge for
gone.
Belgium. But Unmei will find a trade, and so the combo is basically the same for both sides. As Mornes will find a break right after the break, and Uruguay will hold the lead 2 FCs to 1, with Hexy having a good recovery combo, and so does Rebo. So the lead will only grow as the status quo is maintained here. Second
Yeah,
PI, I mean,
that break from Mortis not being traded out by Uruguay is massive for them, actually. Going to be able to capitalize off of that easily. We have a third of the map left. Let's see if the Wheel of Fate is going to turn things around again or not. So far, still looking pretty solid. 150k lead. Might seem a bit significant. Oh my goodness gracious. But keep in mind that the DT score multiplier is also having a say in this. And Rebel's going to be going down. Mortis trying to recover. But we need a break from El Malaga or Melody in order to see potential breakpoint for Belgium. Not looking that possible though. I mean, I'm just gonna go out there and say it. They've been looking pretty damn comfortable on this map, so...
It's still trophies to 1, and the map is coming to a close. Is there enough map, even if we see a break, is the real question here. As Hanori, El Milanga, and Melody all holding the combo. Rebel will trade with Unmei, but it's just too little too late, as I think Uruguay will finally confirm one of their own picks and get their second point on the board here, off the back of Melody and El Milanga.
Yeah, oh my god, look at Hexikeep. Very, very unfortunate. 2 100s, 1 miss. Could have been a difference maker there. That would have been pretty clean, like 1.2 mil, right?
Yeah. Honestly, like, a lot of the DT1 FCs we've been seeing this tournament have had this very close to 1.2 mil score. This one specifically is because of all the spinners. I think a lot of people who get the bonuses on the spinners will compensate for their act drops with the bonus. So a lot of the FCs end up being like 98 point a lot or 99 point a few, and then just getting a lot of the spinner bonus to kind of pump their scores up a little bit. So pretty good scores from all involved. Hanori, El Milanga, Melody, all pretty good impressive scores. And Uruguay getting that pick, finally re-establishing themselves onto the match, but now Belgium has the pick, and Uruguay would need another breakpoint to, if things go as expected, which I don't know if we can really, like, predict that in this match at least. Yeah. But if things go as expected and everybody confirms their pick, then Uruguay would need another breakpoint to actually put this over the tiebreaker, so... We'll see. Belgium probably going towards one of those 3 mods as we talked about earlier. Maybe 3 mod 1, maybe 3 mod 3, maybe 3 mod 2. But I don't expect them to go anything like Amy, so probably not no mod 1. 3 mod 1 would be the choice there. So the second techiest map in the pool, more circle tech intensive compared to no mod 4. And a map that they can abuse mods on, which I think a lot of Belgium wants to play hidden, a lot of Belgium wants to play hardball. And Uruguay, maybe we'll see like 1 HDHR or a couple no mods, but I don't think we'll see like too big of an over mod. Meanwhile, Belgium, maybe we'll have like 1 more player with mods than usual. We'll see.
Personally, I don't really expect overmod for this. If there's anyone that is going to get overmodded, it might just be Fremont 3. I don't think there's any other... It makes sense for any of them to overmod on Fremont 2. I think this pick makes a lot of sense for Belgium, actually, because, again, I think they're just a little bit more like advantaged when it comes to those like control kind of picks. Uruguay just feels like a team that favors more straightforward maps, or, you know, just prefers them to a certain extent. So, not sure. But I would say that Belgium is Belgium is favored on this. again, we're at a point where you can just say nothing with certainty, like ever.
Yeah. I mean, this match has just been a little bit too wild to predict, but I think Belgium has a good shot. Let's just say that much. Belgium has a good shot. Uruguay has a way in. Like the die are cast, just the dice are cast. Have fun. And so far, expected mods. I'd say 5 Joshi with the hidden, obviously. Panori perhaps with the hard rock, or Born is with the hard rock perhaps. Or like a mod. Plox probably on the HDHR or on the hard rock solo. Probably Vinny's gonna be stepping in for Belgium. Or not. Vinny was just in the lobby for fun. Melody coming back for Uruguay. Rebo probably taking the hidden, I believe, on Uruguay. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't have eyes in the lobby. It's late. It's early. I don't know. Time is not a constant. Like, I'm delirious. This match has been a little bit delirious itself. Okay, we're gonna see Plux on a no mod instead. Rebel on the hidden, Helvetia on the hard rock, and then Hexy on the hard rock, and Joshi on the hidden. No over mods for anybody, which for this map maybe makes sense. For some of the other maps, maybe not. But Honori on the no mod, Morna's on the no mod, as well as Melody and Plux. And for a lot of this map, we've seen 2 specific sections be the main focus of breaks. The early sections are not some of those. There's 2 drops on this map. Rebo will find an early break, however. Kind of
uncharacteristic. Wow, nice word choice, that But yeah, very short map. A lot of the difficulty is just kind of focused in these 2 drops. They're one coming up right now. Melody gonna be dropping on a no mod. That's kind of not very good. But I assume we're going to be seeing more breaks coming here. Everybody else still going solid so far, though.
We should be seeing more breaks. But so far, so good for everyone.
Yeah, there's one like big stream coming towards the end of this drop. Might see a few breaks there. There was Melody yet again, just kind of not feeling very well on this map. Helvetia going to be following it up as well. And Belgium, with the 4-way FC into the first drop, halfway into the map, already at 300k lead. Even the modded players are all holding on. Very impressive showing here, actually, and this is what I was talking about, man.
Oh, they need to really collapse in order for this to even be close. Rebel finding one of the important combo breaks will not actually help that cause, but Mortis and Honori will find breaks on both the numbers for Belgium, but Plox and Hexy will trade. So Belgium looking to affirm their pick here and get towards match point. 5 Joshi will break the final FC, but it's too little too late. And someone chain missed the stream at the end on the side of Belgium, having like a 50k point swing. But yeah, Belgium just overall dominating this pick in a way that we really didn't see for any of the other picks. All the other picks were pretty close, but this one was by far the most lopsided. If you're Uruguay here, at this point, yeah, DT3 is the common answer. Like, we've seen DT3 be picked so much by people who are like kind of running out of that like DT / mechanics kind of DT / mechanics area and are trying to like transition to something else. And DT3 is kind of like the perfect like in-betweener there. So no surprise that Uruguay picks this. But I believe all 3 of these teams have played, or all 2 of these teams have played this on all 3 of their previous matches. So let me just investigate really quickly. Belgium versus Turkey. Belgium got a 3.1 million team score with close to FCs on Vinny and Mornis. Didn't actually play this versus Argentina. And then Uruguay versus Turkey. Uruguay versus Turkey. Uruguay have a 3.2 million team score, so they do have a slight advantage on the comfort scores there by
Yeah,
100k.
both teams kind of still putting up pretty decent Q scores on this though. So it's, I mean, it for sure gotta be a little bit close, right?
Yeah, it should. This map specifically is very accessible to basically every team in the tournament, and it has kind of been a toss-up map for a lot of people. We've seen a lot of either four ways or close to it, and we've seen a lot of like late stage collapses on this map because a lot of the difficulty is concentrated on that solo. So we'll see if it happens here. If anything is to be predicted based on how this match has been going, late stage collapse by either team on this map is likely. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, so far that has only been the only reliable source of information that we've got. Whatever has been happening live in front of our eyes. This is also one of the more popular maps in the pool, though. I've seen this picked in a lot of matches. Especially, I feel like towards some of the other contenders groups, this being on the easier side, it just makes it a little bit more, favorable for a pick for a lot of teams, because generally you just want to pick whatever you get good scores on.
Generally speaking, like, this map being so accessible makes it a very popular pick for a lot of teams who are running out of picks. 5Joshi and Hexy finding early breaks on this map, very uncharacteristic just in the map itself, because obviously, like, we've seen a lot of late breaks, but not really early ones. So Uruguay will find a very early and comfortable lead if they maintain their combos. Nobody missing on that triple. We've seen that catch some teams off guard this group stage. However, Uruguay, the early combo advantage for a map like this will just make you establish just such a big lead. They would really need to like collapse at the solo section, and it's coming. El Milanga will find a break, and so does Rebo. Hanori will trade, so the advantage is towards Belgium, even if slightly. And here we go. Here's the solo section, and if you're Belgian, then you want like all DFCs in Uruguay to collapse. However, 5Joshi, Mornis, Hanori, and Hexy will all break for Belgium, which means the exact opposite happens, and Belgium is the one that finds the late stage collapse. Not that it matters, because the lead was already very well established for the side of Uruguay. So Uruguay will be confirming their pick, which will make it so that Belgium will have a pick to go to either tiebreaker or to confirm the pick and take the match.
Yeah, final pick of this match, by the way.
Final pick of this match. Very impressive score by Uruguay, but now the destiny is no longer all in their hands as Belgium decides what kind of stadium we go for, or we go to actually decide this match
on. Was it going to be? In my opinion, they should opt for one of the free mods again. I could also see them pick No Mod 5, honestly, just kind of that gimmicky skill set kind of messing up, again, this straightforward map preference for Uruguay. I'm not too sure how I feel about that one, though.
I think No Mod 5 is like such a... It's such a like inconsistent map. I think you're relying a lot on your ability and consistency to combo through the solo section, which throughout the group stage we've just seen collapse time and time again on that section. Just four-way breaks all around, and I don't think you want to put your tournament life on the line on that one. So they will be choosing No Mod 4 instead, a map not too dissimilar to something like that Free Mod 1 that they got their best lead on. So this will be the arena in which this match will be decided, if not tiebreakers. So let's see if Belgium can close this out or if Uruguay takes it to that tiebreaker instead.
I mean, I feel like this is sorta, kinda, a little bit in the same vein of something that a Nomad 5 pick would have been. Just kind of wanting to opt into more of these like control and gimmicky, technical skill set focused maps instead of just, you know, picking something that, you know, is just like I see note, I tap, ooga booga, you know? I feel like
Yeah, I mean, I see note, I tap Ooga Booga, and I still miss sometimes. Like that happens. Obviously, uh, in a way, like the picks like Nomad 1 or like even Nomad 5 are maps that are very straightforward, but you can miss very easily. Like the Nomad 5 is just you can miss very easily because of precision or because there's like a couple of like trickier sections, but it's a straightforward map in concept. And then Nomad 1 is just like this is a map where you miss sometimes because it's so consistent and so aimy. But a map like this is a map that we've seen a lot of people try to cheese a lot in terms of the sliders. We've seen a lot of people just like act game, but like have these like unfortunate combo breaks, and we've seen a lot of people have a lower accuracy but maintain the combo throughout the end. So I think if you're Belgium here, you might see a couple of like 93s, 94s, 95s to try and hold on to that combo desperately. If you're Uruguay, I think the nerves might get to you in terms of just finding random slider breaks or misses, but maybe you're locked in, maybe you're just trying to get to that tiebreaker and just trying to keep yourself in the tournament. And, you know, maybe that does happen. I don't know, let's find out.
yeah, let's get into it. Nomad 4 final pick of this match.
Helvetia finding an early break, so advantage goes towards Belgium very early on. Mornis will trade, however. Both teams getting a little bit of that nervous early map jitter going on. Mornis will find another break, not having the best of accuracies. Flocks will trade, however, so that is 3 FCs to chew, but the accuracy lead is just so sizable for the side of Uruguay. With Honori finding a pretty random break will not help the case for Belgium. Helvetia will, however, find yet another break. It's still 2 FCs to chew. Never mind, MRB finding a break will make it so that it's 2 FCs to 1, as 5 Joshi is the only thing that separates Belgium from 0 FCs. So, the first stage of this map, not really a stage that we've seen a lot of breaks come out on, but we've seen a lot of breaks come out here as both teams are a little bit nervous. Helvetia finding yet another break, however, that is not really the most important combos. El Milanga on that 92% will find a break right before the break. Meanwhile, Rebo still FCing for the side of Uruguay with 97. 5 Joshi on the 96 still FCing for the side of Belgium. Recovery for the side of Belgium is better, however, as they have Mornis, MRB, and Honori all over 300 combo now. Meanwhile, Uruguay only has Flocks, so the lead will scoot over towards Belgium's side if things stay as they are.
Yeah, Mornis actually recovering his accuracy pretty well. I saw that guy at like 86% at some time. Now climbing back up to a 93, almost 94%. Hanori gonna be fighting a miss. Helvetia is gonna be trading it out though. If Belgium wants any chance of making this though, they're gonna need a break from Rebo here. Mornis is gonna be fighting another miss. 5 Joshi gonna be fighting another miss. It's only MRB left with the combo, and it's looking pretty dire because in the last quarter of the map, doesn't look like there's gonna be any breaks coming soon. Rebo actually kind of feeling pretty comfortable on this with a 97. Plox also on the incredible combo here with even better accuracy, and yeah, I think this might just be a tiebreaker angle. I think this guaranteed is a tiebreaker angle at this point.
It does look to be that way, and Plox with a great recovery combo. Rebo just putting the team mostly on his back too, and MRB, the sole recovery combo for Belgium, if of any substance, will not be enough, as Belgium fails to find their break point. Triple break for Uruguay at the very end, doesn't matter, as we are going to tiebreaker. We are going to a tiebreaker here. Both of these teams currently winless. but this tiebreaker will make sure one of them goes home with at least one win.
Yeah. And then this tiebreaker in particular, a more stream focused generic map. I've been talking about how
Yeah,
these generic maps kind of just favoring Uruguay a little bit more.
honestly, I
So,
don't know. I don't know. Like we avoided pretty much. We avoided Nomad 1. Hard Rock 1 was like extremely split.
all over the place,
DT1
yeah.
was kind of split as well, but like I don't know, man. Like the tiebreaker can go anywhere. I'm done predicting.
You're right. I've been saying that all the time, yet I still just kind of start saying stuff. I can't lie. Let's just see how this one's gonna go. I mean, surely we're gonna see the main carries for all both teams here.
We'll
Yeah,
definitely
Flox,
see
Helvetia, Rebel, Almilanga,
Rebo, yeah.
and then
We might see a
Hexy.
couple. We might see a couple of hiddens. Rebo and Five Joshi both hidden preference players. We might see a couple of hiddens on this tiebreaker as well.
I'm not sure if Rebel's a hidden preference player. I just know he plays hidden pretty well, but 5 Yoshi definitely is.
It's Hexy, the last Belgium probably.
Yeah, for sure. This is his kind of map. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, even if it wasn't, he's like bar for bar the best mechanics player in Belgium. So having him in this tiebreaker just makes sense.
For sure.
Meanwhile, for the side of Uruguay, Flox, usually the best performing player in Uruguay, hasn't really had the best of matches, but a couple of his teammates have stepped up and have pushed Uruguay over to that tiebreaker, and a couple of them will be joining him in this lineup. Rebo, Helvetia, Omilanga. Might see, yeah, we might see a couple of interesting high combos. I don't think we'll see any FCs. If we see any FCs, I'll be very hyped. But I think this is going to be a little bit more of a scrappy tiebreaker battle, as both of these teams a little bit lower seeded. But this is definitely a solo carryable map, even if it's not coming it's not coming through an FC. It can be like a solo carryable map if you get like 2,000 combo, 2,500 combo, something like that. Will give you a pretty good edge. As GL's in the chat, and keyboard spams, they're never good.
Let's see it,
But
man. Let's go.
keyboard spams, whenever it's keyboard spams, even if you're just pressing the things that you're tapping, I always think you're nervous a little bit. So El Milanga, a little bit like watch out for him to be a little bit nervous. I think it's just like a gut feeling of mine whenever someone like kind of warms up in chat. I think it's a little bit of a self-report.
You think so? I mean, it's OWC, man. Like, the nerves could be just getting to him. This match in particular has just been quite the roller coaster, so I can understand the scrambled emotions on either side, really. But yeah, as you can see, or from what you can see, this map is pretty much just going to continue the same way, with some sections being a little bit more streamier than others. But in general, this is it kind of, how do I put this? It's kind of like a DJ Sharpler map,
Yeah. Consistency, some streams, a little bit of aim, some aim sections. So far, Elmlanga, Helvetia, and Honori finding early breaks, so it will favor Belgium at the start of this map. While I was going to say, a lot of SS is being held no longer as Hexy finds a break as well. So the lead will scoot over back towards Uruguay eventually. 5 Joshi finding a break on that hidden mod, as we said. Hidden might make a difference here. There is a multiplier on Hidden, but his break will not help the case, as the lead will scoot over towards Uruguay, as Rebel and Flox are both holding the FC compared to only Mornis for the side of Belgium.
Yeah, very unfortunate breaks here from Hexy and Honori early on. 5 Yoshi is just kind of finding multiple misses as well. There goes Flox, though. One of the FC's gone. So now it is Rebel versus Mornis, and the support on the side of Belgium looking a little bit better right now. Honori matching Almalanga and Hexy being the difference maker here. ever so slightly making the lead creep over to the side of Belgium as Rebel finds a break with the last FC gone on the side of Uruguay.
That's no more FCs for the side of Uruguay. That means if you're Uruguayan, you need Mornis to break here. The more Mornis holds this combo, the worse it is. The lead will just be established really well early on. El Milanga finding another break will not help matters.
What an incredible miss-aim. He genuinely just kind of didn't hit any of those triples. I think the nerves are just getting to him. Morta's going to be finding another break as well here. But Hanori's still on that very solid combo. He is shaking like crazy though, and well, I mean, it doesn't matter as long as he's holding the combo, right? Hexy here to back him up as much as possible. Fabioshi going to be finding multiple misses as well. Rebel going to be dropping again. It's only Plox and Helvetia on the side of Uruguay with any combo whatsoever, as we're about at the halfway mark of the map, and so far it's looking pretty good for Belgium. There goes Hanori.
That's 2 combos to 1. Hexy's combo is a little bit higher. However, 5 finding a break on this low section will not help Belgium's case for this. However, Plox, very uncharacteristic break, just kind of finding a miss on nothing, but this will make sure that Belgium holds this lead for a little while longer. Hexy still maintaining that combo at very good accuracy, 99.83. Morn is also in that really good accuracy, only finding really 101 slider break or miss. Helvetia still holding the combo. Bull keeps things close, however the lead is growing ever so slightly, very slowly for the side of Belgium. No real misses. Plox will find another break, and Rebel will also fall. So Belgium still slowly growing that lead. If you're rooting for Uruguay here, you need Hexy specifically to break. And as the slow section here comes, El Milongo will find a break on not much, which only makes it harder for Uruguay to really establish themselves in the match. And Helvetia finding a break means there's no more combos for Uruguay, as all players in Belgium holding over 600 combo. This likely means it's good games unless Belgium completely disintegrates at this final sections.
I mean, there for sure has got to be some not playing to be done in order for Belgium to still lose this. We're approaching the 3/4 mark of the map, and there's a 2000 combo nearly on Hexy right now. Mortis already on that 1.2k combo as well. Hanori approaching the 1k combo, and there's just no answer at all on the side of Uruguay here. 300k lead and rising more and more. Everybody just breaking left and right on the Uruguayan team. Just no chance, man. Hexy and Mortis break, but again, there's Hanori just holding. There's no chance for them to come back, in my opinion. 300k is a massive
it's way too big. Like, there's not enough combos for the side of Uruguay, especially not with Plox dropping once again. And even if Hanori breaks, I don't think there's enough map for you to work back this 300k lead, even if the lead is shrinking a little bit, based on Brebos and the Victory combo for the side of Uruguay. El Milonga breaking once again will not help. Hanori and Rebo will both be trading, so the lead will stabilize at around this 290k mark. And Belgium looks to be winning their first LWC match, I think, ever.
I'm not sure, but could be wrong.
Regardless, their first LWC match in at least 5 years.
Yep, at least that. But yeah, congratulations to Belgium here. What a what a match.
Yeah, just a chaotic match, scrappy affair from both sides, but in the tiebreaker, Belgium just being that more consistent team, finding good combos, holding them for longer, and once again, it was as expected. Nobody really getting too close to that FC. However, Hexy holding over 2000 combo, and a couple solid 1000 combos for Mornis and Hanori. Meanwhile, for the side of Uruguay, we had decent plays over the side of Rebos and Helvetia's screens, but just not consistent enough, having a couple of really unfortunate breaks at points. And yeah, just a unfortunate case all around for Uruguay, as we have to congratulate Belgium on their victory here, as we are supposed to wrap this up quite soon, as there is another match coming. The other match will be, if I can look at it correctly, Turkey versus Argentina, which is in this group. So we will be going over to Doland and Fiery Rage for this cast, next match for this B stream. So thank you very much, Semi, for joining me in this cast.
Man.
And we'll be giving it over to them.
Yep, that's it from us. Take care.